My name's Jeremiah, and I'm from New Life Counselling. Hey, I want to talk about a little bit of a different topic that we haven't talked about yet, and that is the issue of drugs. All right? I mean, I remember this is way back in some of my earlier not-for-profit days before I got into counseling and stuff like that. I would work with a lot of one-to-one clients or work with kids in groups and stuff like that. And it's some of my background is working with kids. Although ironically, I don't actually counsel children, which is interesting. I just found that I was just really good working one-to-one with kids in an environmental setting, but I'm better working as a counselor with that 12 up kind of thing. Although I know technically that is still kids, right? I'm talking about the K to grade 6 kind of category. Little side note there. All right. Hey, drugs. What are we talking about here? And by the ways, I'm not just talking about the wacky tobacco, alcohol, I guess I should use more modern terms like the devil's lettuce. All right. Oh, I'm just having too much fun here today. Oh my gosh. All right. It's not just that, right? We know there's other drugs out there, and there's also kind of what I call alternative types of drugs. Could be things like gambling, the addiction of gambling. Really, when we say drugs, we're talking about that word, right? Addictions. All right. What are some other ones? Well, again, it can be controversial in some circles, but that is the issue of pornography. That's something that is just running rampant and is basically accessible pretty much everywhere. So that being said, forgot about a few. What about food? Food can be a drug. That can be an addiction. How about other types though? I mean, within food, what about the reverse of it? What about the withholding of? That's where we get eating disorders, like bulimia, all sorts of different, self-image issues where, it's like, man, I am just so fat. And it's like everyone around you is going, no, you're not. But you yourself, it doesn't matter because that's how you're viewing yourself. These are all various types of addictions. Or a different term that I want to introduce today in this discussion and what we're talking about today. A guy called Ken. Totally forget his last name. We'll just call him Ken. He's from BC. Had a chance to hear this speaker one time, and he himself was a recovered, alcoholic. And yes, that's within different terminologies. There's different terms, recovering, recovered, all right? And depending on which circle or group of treatment you're in, there are different terminologies. I go with both. It doesn't really matter to me. It's whatever is working for that person. Great. But he said something that I thought was really interesting. And he used this term, and he simply said it this way: everyone has a drug of choice. And I was like, whoa. Everyone has a drug of choice. It doesn't matter if you are, let's say, not a smoker, not a drinker, not a gambler, but if you're finding anything, and this is where we have to talk about the definition of addictions. Lots out there. One simplistic way of looking at it is anything that controls you or that you are unable to control is considered an addiction. Therefore, that bag of chips where one is not just enough. There could be a drug of choice with that bag of chips, and you're eating too many bags of chips. I can't stop eating it. That's called binge eating, by the way. It's not to shame, not to blame. It's one thing for someone to go, yeah, man, I had a sixer the other day, and I was just like, oh, man. Yeah. And now that you're in your whatever, our body metabolizes the older we get, or it doesn't metabolize, I should say, as much when we get older. That's a given. But a bag of chips, come on, buddy, what's up? It's just a bag of chips. Yeah, but if it's like a bag of chips every day, if it's a bag of chips even if it's a binge situation where it's once a week we have a bag of chips and I just can't stop eating them. Where's the self-control? That could be a drug of choice. Hey, can I give you a very controversial drug of choice? Oh, I got some friends who aren't going to like me after I say this. Oh, they already know. I've already told them. Coffee. I wonder if some of the number one drug of choice, all right, well, at least up until about 25 years ago and still carrying on, is coffee. All right. I need my cup of, what? What do you mean need a cup of coffee? See, if I have a glass of water, all right, I need this glass of water, all right? I need it. I need it to survive. I need it to live. Really what we're saying is when I need my cup of coffee is really I want a cup of coffee. You need water, but I want a cup of coffee, all right? And I'm just saying it's interesting how some people need this cup of coffee when it's in fact a want, in my opinion, not to offend. I feel like there's some, let's go to the next video now. Slice, swipe, click, off next. But if you're still here, thank you so much. Let's keep listening. In that drug of choice, if it's controlling you, maybe it's something to look at. All right. I mean, let's look at our industry as well, by the ways. Jeremiah, how do you know that drugs of choices are around? I mean, there's the obvious drugs and alcohol and stuff. I get that. But really, coffee? Yeah. There's a reason. Think of our society. Think of the commercials that are on, the need, the need for image, which is identity quite often. It's often rooted in identity. All of these different things create this desire. And out of desire, which is really a want, I want this. But what it's imposed is this, it becomes, or it's tried to be tricked into believing that it is a need to have. I need to have the newest game console, the newest toy, the newest makeup. Ooh, maybe that's a drug of choice. Having to buy stuff, maybe purchasing. I don't gamble. How much have you spent on Amazon last month? Shut up, Jeremiah. I mean, pleasantly be silent, Jeremiah. I'm just saying these may be drugs of choices. All right. Now, there is truth too to an old-fashioned statement that goes everything in moderation. It's an old-fashioned statement. So yeah, have a cup of coffee. But if the coffee is controlling you, maybe it's a drug of choice. Buy makeup. I don't care. Wear lipstick. Go for it. But if it's controlling you and you have to have the newest whatever each month, that could be an issue. Could be food, as we already talked about. Could be, again, the withholding of items. There's all sorts of different drugs of choices out there, all right? Now, some have less consequences. Someone who does blow every day is going to have a different consequence than someone who has a cup of cappuccino every day. Different consequence. So you have to ultimately, in your own person self, have to decide, is this something that's a problem in my life? Or is it something that is manageable and it's okay? It's okay. Hey, that's why I'm not here to, what I often will tell my clients, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to shame. I'm not here to say what's right or wrong. You yourself is what you have to hold as your litmus test to go, yeah, I don't like this. This is just not working for me anymore. I gotta stop eating that bag of chips every day. It could be a drug of choice. Now, some people are able to just stop, they call it cold turkey, and just deal with it. Others, not so much. And that is where there are all of these different types of drugs of choices. All right. That is the reason why within things like, for example, 12-step programs, it's not just AA, Alcoholics Anonymous anymore. There are sexual addictions groups. COSA is one, I believe. There's other ones. One is called CODA. That's Codependent Anonymous. What do you mean Codependent Anonymous? It's kind of a different drug of choice. All right. It's one that I like to say is the relationship drug. The I need to have a boyfriend, I need to have a girlfriend. No, you want to, you don't need to. That's a different talk for another day. But all of these drugs of choices, if any one of these, and I'm sure there's countless others I forgot to mention, but if any one of those has struck that, oh, I don't like this, Jeremiah, but I'm still watching. Well, I want you to know that there is always hope and a place to find new life in. And so I want to encourage you, consider finding your therapist wherever you're watching this video in your local area to be able to talk to them, have a consult, and be able to go, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. Is this something you can support me with? And for those of you, not to check out if you haven't already, who are not into the higher power AA thing, don't worry. The good news is there's lots of good, solid strategies out there to support you in your addiction or drug of choice without having to worry about the higher power thing if you're not there yet or ever, okay? Henceforth, that message is for the atheists out there, okay? So I just want to encourage you, if there's anything that is preventing you from being able to be the best of who you are and what you know you could do, but this thing is preventing me from my better self, I want you to consider finding a therapist and getting support in that area so you can find new life and not be controlled, but be in self-control of your life in whatever that is. And then, yeah, have a cup of coffee in moderation. Genetically aside, of course, where if someone, let's say, is genetically disposed to, let's say, alcoholism, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to drink ever again. All right. But the results and how much it's happened, you're at that state where you probably don't want to anyways. And that's a good thing. And you're going to be healthier for it anyways. Okay. All right, YouTube. Just wanted to talk about drug of choice today. All right. By all means, wherever you are at, I hope the best of wherever you are at. And we'll catch you later in the next video.